This is our fourth video for Chapter 8. This is Chapter 8, Section 4, Surface Areas of Prisms and Pyramids. What you'll learn in this video is to use nets and define the surface areas of prisms and pyramids. And remember, a prism is a three-dimensional figure with two parallel and congruent faces or bases. And a pyramid is a three-dimensional figure with only one polygon for a base, and all the other faces are triangles. A net, in terms of geometry, is a pattern you can fold to form a three-dimensional figure. So if we take this net and fold it up, it will give us a rectangular prism. Now let's look at an example of drawing a net. Say we want to draw a net for this triangular prism. So you need to think about what the shape looks like in your head and then cut it on all but one side of your base and then along one seam of your sides. So first we're going to draw one of the bases. Then draw one of the faces that connect the two bases. So you'll have the bottom, then do the left side and the right side. Finally, draw the other base at the bottom. So if we look at the ones that go together, this triangle is the back, the left, the bottom, and the right, and then the front triangle at the bottom. Pause the video and do this quick check in your notebook. Be sure to label it as quick checks or exercises, number it, and do a detailed picture for your cube. The surface area of a three-dimensional figure is the sum of the areas of its surfaces. So it's all of the individual areas of the individual shapes on the outside of the three-dimensional figure is the surface area of that figure. Now let's look at finding the surface area of a prism. So say we want to find the surface area of this juice box. So it tells us that our height is 10, our width is 3, and our length is 6. Now if we were looking for the volume, that's all we would need to know. We could plug that into our formula and we would be finished. But we're not looking for volume, we're looking for surface area. So we know to find the surface area of a three-dimensional object, we first have to draw and label a net for the prism. So our net would look like this, because we would take it and we would cut along all but one side of the two bases and then just slit it down one of the other sides. So that gives us our two bases here, then a skinny side, the front, the left side, and the back. And we can take those same number labels and just transplant them to our net. So second, we have to find and add the areas of all the individual rectangles. So we need to find the area of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individual rectangles. So we have to do the top, back, left, front, right, and bottom. So the top would be 3 times 6, the back would be 10 times 6, the left would be 10 times 3, the front would be 10 times 6, the right would be 10 times 3, and the bottom would be 3 times 6. So if we get those individual answers, it would be 18 plus 16 plus 30 plus 60 plus 30 plus 18. So that gives us a total of 216. So the surface of the area of the juice box is 216 square centimeters. Pause the video and do this quick check in your notebook. Be sure to number it as number 2, and you must create a net and label it before calculating the surface area of your prism. You may be able to do it in your head, but I want to see it in your notebook. Now let's look at finding the surface area of a pyramid. Anytime we're finding the surface area of a three-dimensional shape, you're always making your net first. But creating a net for a pyramid is a little different than creating it for a prism. Where on a prism you cut around 3 sides of the base and the two bases, and then slit the side. With a pyramid, you simply cut down from all the vertices so that all of your triangles fall down around your base. So our net for this pyramid would look like this. So again, you would transfer all of your measurements from your three-dimensional shape to your net, and then use that to find the area of all your individual shapes. So again, step 1, we're going to draw and label a net for our pyramid. Then we're going to find and add the areas of the square and the triangles. Since the base is a square, the triangular faces are congruent, meaning they are the same. So to find those measurements, we need to find the area of the square base, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. So the square is 25 times 25, and then each triangle, since they're off a square, are exactly the same size. So the triangles will be half of 25 times 20 4 different times. So those areas are, the square is 625, then each triangle is 250. So adding those all up gets us to 1,625. So the surface area of the pyramid is 1,625 square inches. Pause the video and do this quick check in your notebook. Again, remember you are required to create a net and label it, and then use that net to find all of your areas. Now it's time to check your understanding. Be sure to label it as check your understanding in your notebook, number all of the questions, and show any and all work. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.